So, as we pointed out, we won at the San Antonio Federal Court. So from that point forward, same-sex marriage in Texas was not really. It was actually marriage for everybody, except that the state filed their injunction and said, wait, let's take it to the next appellate level. So we talk about the maddening side of this. This is dragging on, and then you win! And no, you've got to hold off again. You can't do anything. And then the Fifth Circuit just constantly dragging, I'm sure, nothing to do with Abbott's re-election campaign. And one of the things that bothered me throughout this entire thing, one of the reasons we did this, I'm not a big fan of people being oppressed. One of the things that bothered me about this entire case was that it was taking so long just to have so long for equality. And that's really all we were asking for, was just equality. And everything that people were doing, from the Fifth Circuit doing their thing to Ken Paxton, even after Obergefell, using people's relationships against them, not following Obergefell, not allowing people to be the couples that they were. That was just the most maddening piece of this stuff.
I forget which one of us is supposed to do which slide, even though it's written down and says me. So it was a little overwhelming. You know, we've never done press conferences before. We've not been interviewed before. We've not been in the newspaper before. So, you know, right after the lawsuit was filed, MSNBC called and they wanted us to go on their equivalent of Good Morning America on that Friday. We declined. You know, I didn't want to get in front of a camera, number one. Number two, I didn't know what to say. You know, as a lawyer, I don't want to hurt our lawsuit. And so we don't want to hurt the lawsuit. We don't want to say the wrong thing. So we make sure, so we didn't go on that. We did go on the Andy Cohen show, which was Watch What Happens Live. That was fantastic. We never even heard of it before. Some guy sent me a message on Facebook saying, I'm so-and-so, I work with the show, and we would like you to be bartenders on the show. And Vic and I are going, is that a compliment? Yeah. So I have no idea what that was, but we did it. So it was wonderful. We'll skip, we're running a little bit late, and this is Vic. What's amusing?
So
That's me.
Oh, right. Yeah, so some of the funny things, it wasn't all bad. There were some funny bits to it. Mark gets up early in the morning at about 3, reads the news constantly in bed next to me. I tune it out for the most part. One morning after one of the interviews, though, he wakes up, he's reading the newspaper, and then suddenly he screams, "Ah!" And I sound asleep, and now, not anymore. What is it? Is the dog sick? What is going on? This article, it says I'm 54. Or 58 rather, yeah. And he wasn't, he was only 54. I'm like, really? This is 4:30 in the morning, come on.
Yeah. I think I said something about, I think we need to sue. And then another time coming down the escalator after our case won in San Antonio, there was the bobsled Olympian who was also arriving at the same time. So there were, Johnny Quinn. So there was, I don't know if you all remember this, he kept busting through doors. He kept getting trapped and busting through doors. And but he's from Texas.
Sometimes you're just too big.
Yeah. So what was really funny about it was after we finished all of our interviews, he finished his, we finished ours, then we went to go to get our luggage out of the carousel. And this couple kept their kid, their 15-year-old kid or something, and their parents kept looking at me, looking at each other, looking at me, and finally one of them said, "You're the Olympic bobsledder?" They were incredulous.
Gods. So there were, again, it wasn't all bad. There were good moments. We had a lot of really great letters. When I mentioned that there was a lot of negative things that people would post after the articles, yeah, we're done. Oh, sorry. How about there? There? Yeah. People would post negative things, but for every one thing that somebody would post that was actually pretty heinous or horrible, you'd have 10 people that would line up and they would have no. You have no idea what you're talking about in more colorful terms than I can put it. But that told us that in Texas, the hearts of most Texans really are as big as the state. The minds of most Texans are big as 6 minutes, 6 seconds. 6 minutes, okay. Wow, look at this too. So as we went around the state talking about the case, meeting different people, that's what we found. We found that really most Texans, their hearts really are in it. And that really carried over into his campaign too, because we saw that was the case meeting with real people.
So we're running, we've got 6 minutes, so I'm going to zoom through this real quickly. We got married, the end result is we got married on September, we got our marriage license September 25th, 2015. We're married November 21st in Frisco. And we honeymooned in Costa Rica.
First knowing that marriage licenses are only about $95 to $100, and ours was $1.25 million.
Which thankfully we didn't have to pay. I'll talk a little bit about the after effects of Obergefell. The first is that 500,000 LGBTQ couples got to marry. So that's the positive. Whoops.
Keep going.
I think I've gotten carried away. Okay, yeah. Oh, there we go. So one of the other, sorry about that. One of the other benefits is that one of the benefits is LGBTQ couples who were frequently discriminated against in visitation. That doesn't happen. That's the same thing, frankly, with parents who are not biological parents of children. Previously in the past, they were discriminated against. They could be denied to be in the same hospital room, etc. That now doesn't happen.
As a healthcare provider prior to this, I saw too much of that.
And on health insurance in the past, LGBTQ partners, spouses were not covered by their spouse or partner's insurance. Now all the governments must, at the federal, the state, and the local level, the private employers now who provide insurance because of a decision from last year that says that Title VII covers LGBTQ couples that or individuals, that you can't discriminate on the basis of sex. That was a Supreme Court decision. Bostic said Title VII covered LGBTQ individuals. So now private employers who provide benefits to same-sex couples must provide the same ones to their, I think I said that wrong, to their straight couples, must now provide that to same-sex couples.
And a shout out to Ruth Bader Ginsburg.
And then before last year, there were only 21 states in DC that banned employment discrimination. And because of that Supreme Court decision I just mentioned from last year, now all employers who have 15 employees or more cannot discriminate. But there's still some threats, and I'm going very quickly. Across the U.S. this year, there were 251 anti-LGBTQ bills proposed. 18 have passed. The bulk of those, by the way, half of them are anti-trans. In Texas, 31 bills were proposed. Our legislature had nothing better to do than to focus on anti-LGBTQ legislation. And one half of those are anti-trans youth bills. And then, of course, you have religious liberty issues as well. So that's, in a nutshell, that's where we kind of are today. And that is the end of our program. I thank you all very much. And I'm very proud that we finished ahead of time.
I love this new logo. I don't know where y'all did this. This is fantastic.
Okay, we'll send a link out to it. Everyone who attended will send a link out to all the presentations. And Vic asked where we got this fabulous logo and this t-shirt. Our wonderful Miss Nancy Jo Lambert designed our new logo. And this shirt is available in our swag shop. I'll take a... I'm sorry, I want to recognize Mark and Vic one more time. Their trailblazing fight for marriage equality. This was amazing and huge and brave, and I'm running out of words. So, yeah, one more time for Mark and Vic. Thank you so much for coming. Okay, and if you would like a t-shirt like this one, they're available in our swag shop. If you see these little table tents, there's a QR code that says swag shop. If you put your camera at it, it'll pop up a little window. You touch that, it'll take you right to our swag shop. There's all kinds of different really fun, nice logo gear there. Thanks to Nancy Bittner and Hava Johnson. Hava's modeling some of our other swag that's there. We have hats, we have tanks, we have t-shirts, we have coffee mugs, we have flip-flops, we have all kinds of fabulous things. Oh, and there's also t-shirts around the corner. If you just can't wait to order it off the website, we have t-shirts around the corner.
They're like $20 a t-shirt tonight, so come and get them, and all the money goes right back to our club. Okay.
Yes. Okay, so now's the part where we're going to start doing our club business. We're going to send it to each of our committee chairs to tell you about what's going on with our committees and what's going on, what the projects are.